Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell if you want to get the videos as soon as they upload. YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video, and today I want to talk to you guys about Riot from the Life Foundation. We need Riot. Hasbro is going to give us a Riot, so be patient. We already know we got Lasher, we got Phage, we got Scream. All they need to do is give us Riot and Agony, but until then, here's my version of Riot. Once again, this is my second comic book version, I believe. I've done a movie version as well, but this was supposed to be like an in-between both, without the red streaks from the movie. But I was asked if I could make a Riot on a Caliban body, and I said sure. And I already had several Caliban bodies of my own that I could have used, but this guy decided to send me his own Caliban body and all the parts I needed to make the custom. And when I mean all the parts, I mean all the parts. For example, these two blades came from the Carnage Select, and I decided to modify them and put some cuffs on them with pegs attached that will fit the Caliban body to make Riot blades. And then he gave me a bag of a bunch of things: hands, heads, tendrils, pretty much all the accessories I needed to make a decent Riot. And there were things that I wanted to pull out and use, like for example, this was a Carnage head before, and I did sculpt around it, and I was going to turn it into a Riot head, but I didn't modify the peg hole inside, and I didn't finish sculpting around it, so I decided to leave it. I still may finish it, honestly, so I might hold on to this and then send it to him afterwards. I think it'll look pretty cool as like a movie-based Riot, because they all have that sleek, like boxer dog nose kind of thing. Even Carnage has that look. But this bag has a lot of things. I'm going to ask him if I can have that, because he has two of them in here. You see his tendrils. I didn't use tendrils. I didn't use a tongue, because Riot doesn't have a tongue, and he doesn't really use tendrils so much. But I had the option to go through all these things if I really wanted to. And that's pretty cool that someone who commissions a figure sent me everything that I would need to make the custom. No one's ever done that before, so shout out to you, bro. That's pretty unique. But there are reasons why I didn't use a lot of things in here, because it just didn't fit. For example, if I did take this head, it looks really like wide at the jawline. For some reason, it just doesn't look right. And another thing, Riot's not usually known for showing his teeth. He has shown his teeth, but he really doesn't show his teeth or his tongue. Not to say he doesn't have it, but he barely does. There are a lot of cool things in here. Some things I wish I could have kept, but they're not mine. I could use these for future customs. There are all types of things in here: Venom heads, comic movie heads, Build-A-Figure legs, movie Venom heads. Phage's head is here, which is unusual, because I only got one Phage. I couldn't find him in the wild like that. But he has a couple of movie Venoms to spare, because the heads are in here. Phage head looks pretty accurate too. I'm happy he has that. So I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Riot. This head, I wanted to use the Abomination, except it just looks really weird on it. But those spikes were nice and soft, and I wanted to cut each and every one of them out and then use them as Riot teeth. But I didn't want to sabotage the head for no reason if I couldn't pull the head off, the Riot head. So I didn't use the Abomination head. But tendrils, hands. This hand was nice to use, but the color was off, and there was no need to sand the peg if I already had a hand that looked similar to that one, so I didn't use it. You may not be able to notice in this video or with the lighting, but with this Riot, I wanted to take a more comic book look approach. I mean, I always try to get comic accuracy down, but this one was a little different because I wanted to shade it differently. And in the reference pics or in the comic pics, he tends to look like a shark almost, where he's gray, but he has hints of blue and red or pink under it or beside. It's hard to really explain. I'll show you some references and tell you why I went this direction, because for one, it was different. It was different than what I've done before. The technique I did here was something new. Looking at this reference shot, I see hints of red, gray, and blue. So what I wanted to do was paint the whole thing gray. As I did, I took the figure and lifted it from the bottom and sprayed the whole bottom with red, a hint of like a purplish red. And then the left and right side, I hinted it with blue. So on the sides is blue, and the center is gray, and on the bottom it's red or purple. These three colors. It's very faint. It's hard to see. You got to really look at it. But it is there, and you will notice it. It almost looks like, again, a shark. Someone said that in my comment section on Instagram, and that was a perfect description for it, because with the blade and everything, it looks like a shark. The blade fits. It looks kind of seamless, but you can see the line there, so. But it works, I guess. Let me know what you think about that. What could I have done better? Because I think there's better techniques. Here's the axe from the Carnage Select, a wrist accessory from, I forgot which Marvel Legend, and some sculpt attaching them. Same thing I did with the barbed wire blades on the left hand side. I think this looks cool overall. I didn't add sculpt around the eyes or on the eyes for the eyes because I thought painting them would be just fine enough. Plus, Riot has a distinctive shape eye, so if I sculpted it, it would be there permanently and I couldn't modify it in any way to make it look better. With paint, I can always modify it and change it, move it to the side a bit and make sure it looks right. Because his eyes are so close together, it's weird when you look at him from up front. He doesn't look like Venom. And I think that's cool. That's the best thing about these symbiotes. They don't look like Venom. They look like a symbiote, but they look nothing like Venom. And that's why I love the Life Foundation. I love Toxin. I love Anti-Venom. I love all the symbiotes, honestly. I know Venom is known to shapeshift in comics depending on who draws them, but for me, I always thought Riot was a much more bigger symbiote than Venom is. But according to Hasbro, I think if they are going to give us a Riot, they probably are going to put him on a Hyperion body to make him look like Venom, I think. And the reason why I said it is because Phage is on Bucky Cap and Lasher is on a Pizza Spider-Man. And I think that, and I didn't do it that way. When I made my customs, I actually made Lasher on a Bucky Cap and Phage on a Hyperion, and I did Riot on a bigger body, like an Absorbing Man or a Caliban, for example. But I don't know. It really doesn't. I mean, it matters. Well, I guess they have to give us Riot in a Hyperion body now because it would only suit the rest of the figures. They could give us a Omega Red body, but I would prefer a Hyperion body just to stay uniform with everybody else. Save the Omega Red body or a new body for a new Venom. Maybe this white backdrop will help you see the shading. If you lift the figure up and look from the bottom, you'll see the red hint. But if you see it from the side is where you'll see the blue. But looking at it straight on is where you'll mostly see gray. But you will see all three colors at once from the front view. It's just very, very, very faint. For articulation, feel free to move the figure in any way you normally would. The head goes up and down, left and right. Arm goes up and down. You get the shoulder 360, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. You get a wrist hinge and swivel. Ab crunch that goes all the way up and down, works really nice. Waist swivel, of course. You get a split at the thighs. Thigh swivel, of course. Double jointed knees that work really well. Calves split, and then ankle hinge, ankle pivot. That is it, YouTube. Let me know in the comments section down below. What do you think about this Riot? What could we have done to make it better? What kind of Riot do you wish Hasbro would give us? If you like this video, feel free to subscribe for more content and click that notification bell. And I'll see you soon.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?
Sing, 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 sing. Everybody.